Okay, it's my pleasure to welcome Jane Boyer and John Galley from University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. John, I wonder if you can begin by giving us a little overview of University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, about the organization and also about the function that you lead.
UPMC is a 90,000 plus employee organization. We are at our core an academic medical center. We know at UPMC that we are the backstop for our communities. It's our privilege and our honor to serve as the backstop. Every medical director at the hospitals across Pennsylvania know that if they have a patient who's becoming very ill or is just in a bad way, they can send those patients to UPMC and we will take care of them. So with that honor and privilege comes a special responsibility, and I will say a special pride, and I think that carries through my HR team. I have 600 HR employees, and that includes the payroll team as well. And they just do an amazing job of taking care of our employees, making sure that we hire the best and the brightest, and that we retain them, that we develop them, and we help them throughout their career at UPMC.
Can you speak a bit to the opportunity that HR analytics provides, from recruitment and retention, diversity and inclusion, all the different functions and practices across HR that now are informed by insight?
We're currently focused on 1-year turnover. That's a number that we've seen increase a little bit, and it's going in the wrong direction. So obviously we want to get that down. But retention is huge, and it's not just a UPMC thing. It's a nationwide thing. Keeping people is really critical at this point. So whatever we can do to figure out what it is that we need to do to keep people, that's going to be huge information to gather. Diversity metrics. Diversity is another big one. We have goals related to diversity. So that's something we're looking to be able to cut and slice and dice. Do we have the ethnic diversity that we need? The more diverse you are, the better you're going to be. So putting these types of metrics and KPIs at the fingertips of our executives and our people leaders is going to be huge.
Where we're heading is actually proactively and prospectively looking forward, so that rather than just understanding what happened, we want to utilize tools like AI that can analyze patterns in the workforce. What is happening at UPMC, and how can we predict what's going to happen in the future? What kinds of things might occur in terms of, for example, turnover in the workforce? What type of employees stay with UPMC? How can we integrate that into our hiring practices so that we're more successful, as Jane said, retaining employees in their first year with us? So those kinds of things are exciting for me, because we can be more proactive with our management team, more prescriptive in terms of where we want them to focus their energies as leaders. The healthcare industry is very competitive. It was competitive before the pandemic. Like all industries, the pandemic has exacerbated the situation we're in. There's just simply not enough resources, nurses, technicians, and other resources to be able to handle the volume of work that we have. And so it's natural when we have something like we lose an employee, that happens on a regular basis. And it's natural for our operational leaders to say, we just lost this person. They're making $1.50 more an hour somewhere else. We've got to pay our employees more. And it's that kind of anecdotal kind of approach that we found data can really help us move in a different direction. So for example, if we look at that department and we see that, hey, we've made 12 offers over the last month, 11 have been accepted, well, then that shows that our pay levels are pretty good. We're getting good acceptance by the community at large in terms of the jobs we have available. If, on the other hand, it shows that only 2 have accepted of the 12, well, then that could show that we have, a pay issue there. But I think taking the time to diagnose and understand the issue from an HR perspective before we dive into a solution is really important. No different than taking care of a patient, right? You want to take time to diagnose and understand the problem before you jump into a solution.
That makes a lot of sense. And it also requires a complete perspective, not siloed within just your HR systems or just your finance systems, but being able to draw insight across both of those functions to understand cross-functional insights about your people and your finances. Can you speak to the value of being able to gain that insight across both functions so that you can make better decisions?
In addition to pulling that data in together from a finance and HR perspective, we also have four or five different divisions with different needs. So looking at that data in different ways, and being able to do those analyses to see where are the issues, where do we need to focus, to be able to answer the business questions, which are going to differ by division. One division may have a retention issue, another one may not, so they may have a different focus. And being able to target things towards each area is going to be huge from my perspective.
It speaks a lot to the maturity that you've developed with your analytics practices, that you've moved from just looking in the past to now being able to look ahead and be able to anticipate challenges and also capture opportunities. I wonder if you can speak to the role of analytics and allowing you to be more agile.
HR was called upon to help prioritize the order that we were going to vaccinate our own employees. So one of the things we always do is we try to look at things from different viewpoints, from a different lens. It was no different with the vaccine. We wanted to make sure that we were taking care of everyone. And that started with our workforce. When we started to look at the data in our workforce, indeed, we found that we were leaving some populations behind, primarily people of color. And so having that data, being able to say, is everyone having the same experience, was very valuable to us. We were able to put some special programs in place to help our employees get vaccinated so that it was an equitable experience across UPMC.
I wonder if you can also share a little bit of information about our partnership, the relationship between Oracle and University of Pittsburgh Medical Center.
Our partnership with Oracle has definitely grown over the past several years. Oracle has come to us to get our experiences in whether it's a new offering, a new functionality, or if it's something that's already in place that they're looking to improve. They're coming to us to ask for what kinds of experiences we're having and getting our frontline people as well as our functional users involved. So I think it's a great partnership as far as benefiting both of us.
When you change out an HR and payroll system like we did in July of 19, it's a big, big initiative. There's risk involved. Your own reputation is on the line. So you want to make sure that you have the right partner, an organization that's been through this with many others of your size, scope, and scale, and they can keep pace with you. And we found that in Oracle. There were a team of experts with us every step of the way. So we just introduced this month, actually, chatbots that are going to help our service centers across UPMC answer questions more timely, more conveniently, right at your desktop, at your fingertips. So it's that type of innovation that we were looking for and that we have in the partnership with Oracle.
Well, thank you for the partnership. Thank you for allowing us to serve you, and thank you for the great work that University of Pittsburgh Medical Center is doing in serving the community.